Welcome all. Kindly wait. So we are going to start this masterclass now. So in front of starting this masterclass, I like to present the PPT, yes, and as well as a small video about the AP training and what is our achievements, what we did in the past. So kindly watch it. So this is a small introduction video about AP training. So now I'm going to introduce myself as well as about the AP trainings. So a warm welcome to each and everyone who joined this masterclass. Myself, Ayyappan from AP Trainings, who is presenting this masterclass to you people. So some of the students have told like voice is very low as well as due to network problem. So people who are not able to hear properly, kindly disconnect and connect again. And also our master classes going live in YouTube also. You people can watch from there also. Okay, for your kind information. Okay, so first of all, I am going to introduce about AP training. The full form of AP trainings is all professional trainings. So we are providing all kind of training, especially the IT technologies, electrical, electronics, and soft skills. So in the IT technology itself, we are providing more than top 100 technology trainings all over the world. So telling about our achievements, we have already trained more than 10,000 plus students all over the world, especially in USA, European countries, and all over India, in which most of the students are placed in various MNCs all over the world. So top level MNCs, daily people, students are joining different companies. Today morning also one of the students called from US and informed she joined an MNC. Okay, so we are providing three types of training. Like the first one is like a master class, so that you are attending now. So which is followed by the workshop or flash course, which will come for either 5 hours or 10 hours. And the final one is a full course, so it will come an average of 30 to 35 hours. Okay, so today the master class you people are attending. So now I am going to share my screen and I will explain about the agenda of this master class. So I'm sharing the screen. So this is the agenda I'm going to present to you people. So initially it will be like participant introduction. So you people can introduce yourself in the chat box for 10 minutes, like your name, your educational background, I mean the profession, as well as your expectation in this masterclass. So this is the participant introduction. So how it is helping to the trainer is the trainer will present this masterclass accordingly. Okay. So the next one is a webinar content. So the webinar content will be about 45 minutes. The trainer will explain in a practical manner each and everything. So the webinar content will come for 45 minutes. And then query session, you people can directly ask the expert about what are the queries you are having in your mind about today's topic. So then students guide. So students guide here will explain how we are differing from other training centers. What are the new technologies and what are the new techniques we are following to train our students. Then APT offer. So APT offer is only for the people who are attending this masterclass today. And then queries and feedback session. That is our final thing. Here we will give the feedback link, so everything to you people regarding how to send the certificate and everything. Okay. So kindly everyone attend this masterclass till end. We will share the feedback link at the end of this masterclass only. You should fill the feedback link to review the certificate. Okay. So let's start this masterclass. First, initially, you people can introduce yourself in the chat box. So we can move to the next thing. So please introduce yourself. So welcome, Mr. Taki Kumar from Delhi, New Delhi, BTech in 2020. Webinar will clear the concept of SQL. Very good. Okay. Fantastic. So today the topic of webinar is like SQL. So like how human is having a brain, each and every computer is having a database. I mean, nowadays every computer, every server will have a database. Okay, so that database, the most prominent database that people are using all over the world is SQL. Okay, without SQL, none of the things will work. So all the information are stored in the SQL only. So it is a base for all programming languages, all technologies. Wherever you are going, you should know the SQL. If you don't know SQL, also you have to use it. Okay, so that is the thing. So kindly introduce yourself in the chat box. Banoj Kumar, welcome Banoj Kumar. Kindly introduce your name, your educational background, like you are studying in college means college which year, or if you are working means how many years experience, your location, and your expectations. So welcome Manasa. Banoj is from Odisha, welcome. Varsha from Hyderabad, welcome Varsha. Sachin Vilas, name, profession, student, basic must be clear. Very good, Sachin. So I am studying in IT third year, Varsha. Welcome, Varsha. So how about other 52 participants have attended today? Farheen MG from UiPath. I recently completed my bachelor's degree in computer science. I like to study SQL. Very good. I am Aksha from Jaipur. Welcome, Aksha. I am Lalit from Ankapalli, BTech 2021 positive. Welcome. Prince Raj from Bihar. Amrit Raj, I am studying MCA at Central University of Haryana. I am from Patna, Bihar. Welcome. I am Manshu Kumar from Central University of Haryana, studying MCA third year. Welcome. I am Karthik from Tamil Nadu. Welcome, Karthik. Chennai. B information in Chennai. Okay. Welcome. Amudavalli from Chennai. Welcome, Amudavalli. Muhammada Shafina from Tamil Nadu. Graduation in mathematics second year. My expectation. Learn SQL. Very good. Future in IT. Surely you will be. So I am Diksha from Pune. Welcome, Diksha. I am Ramya from Chennai. I am engineering final year student. Very good. I am Navashri from Coimbatore. I am pursuing BSc. Welcome, Navashri. My name is Yashavi Patel from Buldona. I am pursuing third year of engineering. Importance of SQL. Why is it important to learn? Very good question. Awais Faridi from Delhi. MCA from Jamia Mila Islamia. Okay, welcome. Prince Raj pursuing MCA from Central University Haryana. Welcome. Deepak Raja from Tirupur, Tamil Nadu, CSC third year. Welcome, Deepak Raja. Ajay Kumar, Chennai. Welcome. BTech third year. Apurva from Nagpur. Apurva Gagdre from Nagpur. I am CSC student studying JIT. Welcome. SQL concepts. I am Priyadarshini from Tamil Nadu. Welcome, Priyadarshini. PSC. Malleshwari from Tamil Nadu, BTech second year. Manoj Kumar from Odisha, studying MCA finalist. So thank you very much for your kind introduction. Really good to see every people, almost most of the people have introduced themselves in the chat box. I once again welcome each and everyone. So finally, Prince Kangadia from Jaipur, pursuing BTech. Welcome. So now we can go to this masterclass. So before going to this masterclass, I like to introduce about our trainer. His name is Mr. Manimaran. He is having vast knowledge in many IT technologies, especially in SQL, Python, and many programming languages. He already trained hundreds of students all over the world. So many US, UK, and other country students also he are trained. So here today he is going to present about the SQL. He will explain each and everything in a practical manner. So Manimaran, you can take the control and you can start this session. Manimaran. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ayappan. Thank you. Welcome all. My name is Manimaran. I am from Zenchi, Tamil Nadu. Have an experience of 3 years in IT. I'm working as a data scientist and research analyst in Robotic India. So today in our master class, we are going to look at the basics of SQL, and we are going to learn SQL through MySQL databases. So I hope you will understand the concepts, and I will give you the guarantee that all your expectations will be met out at the end of the session. Okay. So can you guys hear me clearly? And can you guys able to see my screen properly?
Yes, Manimaran, we are able to see your screen. So slightly, can you please increase your volume?
Just give me a minute. Just a minute.
Yeah.
So can you hear me clearly now?
Yeah, now it is fine.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ayappan. So this is today we are going to learn SQL with the help of MySQL databases. So I told myself Manimaran, I will be your instructor for this masterclass. So in this today's session, we will be looking into what is SQL basic from scratch. So most of the students from their introduction have seen that most of them are students. So it's very good step towards your career. So most of them from CS background and IT background, and they wanted to learn SQL. And it is very, very important for any person who is want his career or his or her career to be in IT. Then he or she must definitely know about what SQL is and why it is very important. Okay, so today's session we will be splitting up into 8 modules, and I will go with the modules first, and then we can learn about them in detail later on in the course. Okay, so in our module 1, we will be looking into what are databases. So what are the models and how databases are communicating with the client, and we will be discussing about client and server model, and then the jargons which we will be using in database languages, like what is meant by data, what is meant by field, what is a record, what is a table, and what is a database. And then we come to what is a meant by a database management system, and then there are different kinds of database management systems available, and then we will look into the very important one and most widely used one, that is the relational databases. We will be looking into them, and then we will be going to an real-time requirement. We will be analyzing a requirement from a client, and then we will be drawing the ER model, that is entity relationship diagram model. So once we define that, and then we will convert that ER model to the database, and then we will be seeing about SQL. So what is meant by in SQL, and what are the statements available in SQL, and what are those kinds, and we will be looking more into the code. And at the end of the course, you will be learning, you will be understanding how to write the codes and everything. Okay, so after from module 4 to module 8, we will be looking into the codes and all. Okay, so let me start with the module 1. So this is our agenda today. So in module 1, we will be seeing about client and server model. So what is a client and server model? So everyone here in this course, you people will be knowing about, you will be using about WhatsApp and all, right? So you can use WhatsApp from your laptop or your desktop PC or from smartphone. Now WhatsApp's beta version allows that no need to for an we don't need to log into our mobile phone, or we don't need to log in from your laptop. So at any time, at any place, we can fetch our data messages and from the server, and then we can chat with our friends and families, right? So this is how an entire structure will be. So this is an overall model. Here, if you see, we have a server, that is a centralized server. For example, this is for example, it's a WhatsApp server. Okay, so we can access WhatsApp server from our PC or from our smartphone or from our laptop. So initially, when we receive messages, our smartphone will connect with the server, and it will ask the server whether I have got any messages or not. Like that, it will ask. So if we got any messages, then our server will respond to that smartphone, telling that you got these messages and all. So like that. The same thing happens for a PC, and the same thing happens for a laptop. So this conversation, like between a client and a server, it will be happening in the form of request. For example, RESTful request and HTTP requests. For example, in the beginning, if you want to know about the messages which are shown to you, which are to your number, then you have to give that number to the server, telling that I want messages for these numbers and all. So your application, the application you will be typing and the messages you are viewing, right? So it is basically on server. The data provided by the server will be displayed through that client. Okay, so there is no such thing which will be done by the application which is on our mobile. It will just deliver the messages, and it will just display the messages from the server. Okay, so all the messages, all the photos, all the documents which we will be sharing via WhatsApp, they will be stored in the server. Okay, so this is how the client server model will be. So the main importance of an SQL is the server only knows SQL. It doesn't know any other programming languages. For example, it doesn't know Python. It doesn't know C or C++ or Java or any kind of things. It doesn't know any other languages. The server knows only SQL. Okay, so that is the very important role of an SQL. So if you want to be a data analyst, then you might rely on data. So what you have to do, you have to fetch the data from the server, and then you have to process it. So then you definitely have to know about SQL. And then if you want to be a front-end developer or a back-end developer or a mobile app or web application or any kind of developer, okay, so if you want to show the data to the user, that must be retrieved from a server, then you have to know, you have to know about the front-end technologies as well as the server technologies. For example, to retrieve the data from the server, you must know SQL. So to show the data, to post the data to save a data into the server, then you must know SQL. Okay, so any kind of things. So any kind of if you want to get the data, or you have to save the data, then you definitely have to know about SQL. For example, if you want to have a front-end developer, you will be displaying the data. If you are a back-end developer, then you will be saving the data to the server. Okay, I'm just telling the overview. The role of a front-end developer is not only just displaying the data, but he is also doing some more kind of things than I am telling. And the role of a back-end developer will be more than. I'm just telling an abstract view, abstract role of an backend developer. Okay, so it's very important to know about SQL, because if you want to deal with data, then SQL is a must know. You have to know about SQL. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell you, the importance of SQL, and what is the importance of why we are learning it through MySQL. So SQL is itself a programming language. Okay, like C and C++ and Python, like it is a language. SQL is a language, structured query language. Okay, so MySQL is an relational database management system. Okay, so we are using a version of SQL inside the database. Okay, so MySQL is a database, Microsoft SQL Server is a database, Oracle is a database. To communicate with the database, we must know their languages. For example, the versions of SQL varies among different databases. For example, MySQL uses the generic SQL kind of database. Oracle uses P-SQL database, P-SQL version of SQL, and then Microsoft SQL Server will use T-SQL, that is transaction SQL and all. So these are different versions of SQL, but the concept between each language is the same. Okay, so the database is varying, but the version of SQL will be varying, but the concepts will be same for all kind of databases. Okay, so MySQL is an open source database, while when compared with Microsoft SQL Server or Oracle, they are paid one, and we have MySQL and open source. So that's why we are starting our learning with an open source platform. Okay, so MySQL also provides some paid versions also, but they will be used only in companies and in big infrastructure developments. And for example, if you are to develop a data warehouse, and then that kind of times, MySQL is itself providing a paid version of that thing. But to learn SQL and all, we can rely on the open source itself. Okay, so you can download it from mysql.org, From there, you can download the community version of the MySQL server, and then you can install it in your laptop. Also, there are many more online compilers available in the internet, so you can use them as well. Okay. So in the point of time, when I'm considering the time, I'm not going to show you how to install MySQL server and all. So just I will be giving you an overview. Okay. So you can find many YouTube videos related to it to install MySQL server. Okay. So you can use them as well. Okay. And then now the jargons which are used in in a database language. For example, data. The first thing which everyone is fascinated about is data. So because the word data is itself a fascinating term nowadays, because I want to be a data analyst, I want to be a data engineer, I want to be a cloud data practices engineer, like that. The data is itself present in all the designations. Okay. So what the data refers to? The data refers to a distinct piece of information. Okay. So for example, here you see, I'm just showing two tables. Okay. So here we have an ID, customer name, first name, last name, and phone. Here we have seen a clear graphic and Smith, Karen, and the phone numbers of corresponding to those customers. Okay. So we have a name called Smith Karen. Okay. So here the Smith itself is in data, and Karen itself is in data, and this phone number 40322. This one itself in data. Okay. So like this, we have a data present. So this distinct piece of information is known as data. Okay. So and then field. Field refers to a column in a table with specific information about the data. So for example, if I tell you something like 7025518, so you don't know about whether it's a phone number or it's a zip code or it's some other unique number or whatever, you don't know. So but the information related to that number, the data I'm telling, right? For example, this is a phone number. So that is refers to a phone. Okay, that refers to phone. So that is known as a field. Okay. And then the third one, we have a record. So record refers to an individual entry in a table. For example, here you see this 7025518 is related to Signal Gift Stores. Okay. And then the owner's name is King Jean. Okay. So this phone number is related to this information, these data is present along the line. Here you see this 112 is itself an ID corresponding to Signal Gift Stores. And then Signal Gift Store is what? It is a customer name, that is a company name, and we have the contact person name King Jean here, and corresponding phone number of that Signal Gift Store. So this entire data, right, this entire line is itself referred to an record. Okay. So that's what record refers to, an individual entry in a table. Okay. And then we have table, and table refers to a collection of related records held together in a table format. For example, here you see we have ID, customer name, first name, last name, and phone for different companies. For example, we have Atelier Graphic, we have Signal Gift Stores, and we have Australian Collectors Company and La Rochelle Gifts, and then so on. So these are related to one another. For example, he is an graphic company, he is a gift store company, he is also a gift store company, and he is also gift store. So we are together collecting information of different unique related users, and then we are combining them together in a table format, like how we do in Excel, right? So this is known as a table. And here you see we have something related here. We have product code, product name, and product category. Here we are maintaining a table which is having the information related to products. Okay. So this is how the table in a database refers to. And then database itself is a collection of structured information. For example, this 8-layer graphic is providing me this Alpha and Renault 1300 font. For example, it's not they are providing it, but for example, I'm telling it. So here you see we have a product and we have a customer, and we are maintaining everything in a centralized location. For example, like a folder. Okay, that's it. That is known as in data. So database is itself known as a collection of data, and the data, it's not collection of data, it's actually collection of tables, and inside the table we have a collection of records, and each record will have an unique fields, and then each field will have a constant data. Okay. So starting from database is a collection of structured information, that is table, and then table we have unique records, and then in unique record we will be having individual fields, and then the field will have a piece of information that is known as a data. Okay. So whenever I tell data, or whenever I told field, or whenever I told record, so these are the things which will be I will be using throughout the course. And if you go into an IT company, then you will also they will be referring you with these terms, then that means this. Okay. And then what is a database management system? So database management system is itself a software which is used to manage the data present in a database. Okay. For example, it will allow users to interact with the data in the database. It will allow the users to fetch the data. It will allow the users to alter the data. It will allow the users to delete the data or insert new data and everything. So it will actually allow the users to interact with the data. We cannot directly go, for example, in Excel, we will be opening the Excel file and then we will go to the particular cell and then we will be doing it, right? So, but in database management system, we have to we have to do the same, but we using an programming language. Okay. So that's what the entire setup that is used for an thing, right? That is known as a database management system. Okay. So, and then relational databases, there are different kind of databases available. For example, hierarchical database and tabular databases and many kind of databases available, but they are now outdated. Now we have relational databases in the market. Okay, most of the companies will be using relational databases, as well as one more database technology which is now evolving, that is known as NoSQL databases. So now most of the companies, all the companies in the world are using relational databases. Okay. So if a table, what is mean by a relational database? For example, if a table in a database is related to another table in a database using a relationship between those tables, then it is known as a relational database. For example, here you see we have products, and we have one more table that is connected with the products table called the product lines. And then we have another table called order details that is connected to products. So there is a relationship between each tables. For example, products is related to product lines, products is related to order details, and order details is related to orders. So here you see we have a different kinds of relationship between each table. So this is known as relational databases. Okay. The relationship can be one-to-one or one-to-many or many-to-one or many-to-many. Okay. So whatever the kind of relationship it may be, but if you have a relationship between any two tables, then it is known as a relational database. Okay. So that's it from our module 1. So do you guys have any doubts in module 1? I know I'm going very fast, but due to time constraints, I have to complete module up to module 8. So that's why I'm telling it in a faster manner. So if you guys don't understand anything, uh, I will give you some time so that you can throw your questions from at the end of the module, and then I will explain it more. Okay. Thanks, Tarun. So do any other guys having doubt in module 1? Okay, super. So now we will be going to module 2, that is entity relationship diagrams. Okay. So we have not started coding yet, but we have just wanted to know how our database should be. For example, this entity relationship diagram modeling is up to two stages. First, we have to analyze the requirement from the client, and then we have to draw a database structure in a tool called in a graphic editor tool, and then we will be doing the same using using code, and then we have to create it. For example, here you see we have a table form. For example, we have customers table, we have products table, we have orders table, and so this is not actually a database. This is actually how the database will be present. So basically, the databases will be stored in binary format. For example, zeros and ones only, because the computer stores information in binary. But we have to know how they are related to each other, so that we will be creating something like this, right? So this is an entity relationship type. So here you see what is meant by an entity. So here you see this employees, the officers, customers, products. So these are different entities, and related information, that is related fields related to that entity, will be listed there. For example, if we take employees, we are having employee number and last name, first name, extension, email, office code, and reports to, and a job title. Okay. So these kind of fields available to an entity. Okay. So that's what an entity relationship diagram is. So we will be seeing about entity, an attribute, and then relationship diagrams. So what is meant by an entity? Entity refers to a component of a data. For example, if you are going to create a table related to employees, then that employees table is itself refers to an entity. Okay. And then we will be having some attributes to that entity. Okay. So that defines the properties of the entity. For example, here you see we have employees and we have attributes like employee number, last name, first name, and so on. So those are known as attributes. Okay. So and if we go to offices, we have attributes for that offices. Okay, like that. So those are known as an attributes. Okay. So attributes are simply known as, they are known as fields. Okay. But in entity relationship diagram, the table is itself known as an entity, and the column names, that is fields, that are known as attributes. Okay. And then the relationship. So the relationship between the tables, if it is an one to one or one to many, or so those kind of things, right? So that is relation, that is known as the relationship. Okay. So these are the three things which we will be seeing. For example, I will repeat it again. So here, what is meant by an entity means the tables, the entire table, like for example, products, customers, employees, product lines, these are known as entities. And product code, product name, product line, and that was the attributes which are defining more about the entity are known as attributes. And then the relationship between two tables are established by a relationship. As I told, the relationship can be anything like one to one or one to many or any kind of. Okay. So this is how the entity relationship diagram will be. So we will be looking at a requirement. For example, we have to create a database system for a school management system. Okay. Here we have to maintain the records of students, teachers, classrooms, exams, exam marks, attendance have to be maintained by the system. And then relationship should be established between them. How we can do that? So I will be using a tool called draw.io. Probably you people will know about it. This is an easier one. This is a free one to use. And then we have many more tools called Figma and many more entity relationship diagram available in the market. And there are many free resources also available. So I'm just using draw.io. So if you just put draw.io in your Google Chrome, then it will take you to app.diagrams.net. And then you can go to here, the basic the layout will be like this. So it will be showing you an untitled diagram, and then here in the end you can see entity relationship. From that entity relationship you can see many components present. So if you want to create a table, then you can pick and place it. Okay, if you just click it, it will appear in the screen. Okay, so like that we can do. So here we are going to define an student management system. Okay, school management system. So what we have to do is we have to maintain records of students, teachers, classrooms, and then so on. So let's just take students and teachers, and then we take classrooms. These three examples we can take, and how we can find a relationship, how we can define an entity, how we can establish, how we can put attributes to each entity, and then we can see about how a relationship between them can be present. Okay. So I wanted to create three tables. So I'm just creating three tables. Okay. So I will take three tables first. Okay. So the first table will be named as student. Okay. So student is itself an entity. And then I will be creating teachers. And then I will be creating classrooms. Okay. These are the three tables I'm going to create as of now. The more about, we can also go the same thing which will we can apply to creating the other entities as well. Okay. So now I'm just going to put some attributes to the students table. For example, in a school, the student will definitely have a register number. For example, if you guys from universities, then you will be having a register number, right? So that will be an unique one to identify each student. So I'm just putting it as a register number first, and then I am putting name, and then I'm putting course, and then I'm putting year. Just for example, these kind of information is enough. Okay. Also, not putting course, I just put mobile number, and then I just put standard. Okay, I just put standard. That's enough. Let's take, because this one is on school management system, right? So in school management, in schools there will be no courses anymore, right? So standard is enough. And then we'll go to teachers, and then the teacher will be having a register number for them as well, but it will be different from those who for students. So the the teacher will have a name, and then he or she will have a mobile number as well, and then he will also be allotted to some standard. For example, if he's a class teacher, then the teacher will be to that classroom, like that. Okay, like that. For example, we can leave a student that standard now. Just put subject taken. Okay, so she will take max, she will take English, like, okay, for example, we have created teachers table like this. And then now we have classrooms. So here the classrooms will be the standard name. Okay, for example, this one is first standard or second standard, like that. Okay, and then the each classroom will have a class teacher. Am I right? So we just put class teacher. Okay, we don't have any other we don't need any other attributes needed for a classroom, just the name of the classroom and then the class teacher particular to that classroom. That's enough. So here you see I have created class teacher. So here I can just simply refer the class teacher to the register number of a teacher. For example, the first standard A will be Ram will be the class teacher for first standard A section. Then I can just put this register number here. If Ram is retiring from that school and then a new person is replacing the position of class teacher for that class, then what we can do, we can just simply put the register number of the new person to the class teacher, and then it will be fine. And then here you see we have standard here. So here how we can do, we can just call that standard and then we can put it like here. Here you see I'm just referring the standard should be from the standard. Like that we are developing relationships. Here you see for example, myself Manimaran, I will be having a register number 001 and I will be belonging to 10 standard B section, for example. So here you see I will be having my register number, I will be having my name, I will be having my mobile number, and then the standard is 10th B. So the 10th B will be referring from here. Okay. So and so. So this is how we will be defining the entity relationships for all the any kind of requirement we have. We will be defining like this one. Okay. So and then I will just go to an introduction about SQL. So before getting into the module 3, do you guys have any doubts from module 2? Do you guys? Okay. Thanks, Shifima. Okay, we can go to the module 3. So here in this module 3, we will be seeing more about SQL. So what is SQL and what are the kind of statements available in SQL? So SQL stands for Structured Query Language, as I told before while starting the course. So SQL is a programming language which is used to edit our data, that is used to interact with the database. Okay, so SQL is a standardized language. It is an ISO standard language. So we have to use SQL in any kind of databases. If you want to interact with the data from a database, then you have to know about SQL. So for example, here if you are using MySQL, then you have to use the version which is supported by MySQL. And then if you are using Oracle, then you have to use the language that is supported by Oracle. Okay, but both all the kind of languages which are used to access the database, that they will be SQL only. Okay, so we have 4 kind of statements available in SQL. For example, DDL statements, DML statements, DCL, and Dql statements. Okay, so DDL statements itself refers for data definition language. Okay, so DDL, so data definition language, and so on. So for DML, it means data manipulation language, and DCL, data control language, and the Dql, data querying language. Okay, so in DDL statements, what we will be doing is we will be defining how the structure of the database should be, what are the tables should be present in the table, present in that database, and then what are the attributes, what are the fields that are have to be present in the table. So every kind of things which is related to structuring the database will be covered under DDL statements. Okay, and then DML statements, that is data manipulation language, we will be inserting the data to that table which we have created using DDL statements. Okay, for inserting, for updating or deleting, those kind of things we will be using DML. Okay, and then for DCL, sometimes we have to restrict our data usage to some people. For example, we have to control the usage of this data to particular user, then we have to control the access to the database, so that we can use that we can do using data controlling languages, that DCL statements. And then if you want to retrieve the data, or we want to query some data, then we can use Dql statements, that is data querying language. Okay, so if you want to be a developer, then you definitely have to know about DDL statements. and then DML statements, and then Dql statements. If you want to be a database administrator, then you have to be more clear about data control languages. And we have some more topic. We have one more kind of statement that will be covered under DCL, that is transaction control language. So that will be a bigger part, because database administrator is itself and separate role. Okay, so at that time also you have to know about the basic statements, basic SQL. So that will be a different role, which is different from what I have told before. For example, data scientist, you have to be very clear about data querying statements. And then if you want to be a developer, then you have to more into DDL and DML statements. And then if you want to be an DBA, then you have to be clear, you have to be thorough in DCL statements, because those kind of places only, based on the role, you people will be using those kind of statements. Okay, so these are the things which are telling about in the module 3. We will be going deeper into those kind of statements in later in the course, and then I will tell you then. So first we will be looking into Ddl commands. So what is mean by Ddl command? I have told before. So Ddl is itself refers to data definition language. Here we will be using these kind of statements, these kind of commands to structure the database, to structure how the data should be stored in a database. So we will be seeing about how to create a database in MySQL, how to create a table, how to alter the table, or how to delete a table, and then everything we will be seeing. So we have four kind of statements. We have four kind of commands available in DDL. So to create an object, if you want to create a database, then you have to use create and then followed by database. If you want to alter a table, then you have to use alter and then you have to put the table name. And then if you want to delete it, then you have to use from. I will use all these commands and I will let you know how to write an SQL query. Okay. So first, this is how your MySQL Workbench will look like when you install MySQL Server. So MySQL Workbench will be installed to your system automatically, and then you will be having this screen. Okay, so this is the home page of MySQL Workbench. Here you see we have connections. We have to define a connection. So if you have an local instance already present while installing itself, it will ask you to create a connection. If you miss to create a connection while installing, then you can use this plus sign and then you can create a new connection. For example, I will be creating a connection called webinar connection now. So, and then you have to put an username and then you have to put a password here. Okay, here you see I'm using my username root because this root user will have all the access to my databases, which I will be telling you later. So that's why I'm using username root. If I have some other usernames allotted to me, then I have to use it. For example, Manimaran or some email IDs or some kind of things, like something related to email IDs. Okay. So now I'm going to use root as my username, and then I have to test the connection before, because it should know it will check whether the database installed in your system and the connection can be established or not. So it will we have to test the connection. So when I click this test connection, it will ask me to enter my password. So this username and password we will be creating while installing the MySQL server. Okay, now I am entering my password for the user root, and then I click OK. And then here it is telling me successfully made my SQL connection. It is telling that my host is in this location, and then my port which is used for that user to access the database is in this thing, and the user which is granted the successful connection is for this user root. So 127.0.0.1, that is 0.0.1 is itself your local system. Okay, for example, if your server is in any cloud platform, then that host will be differing based on the location of the server. For example, if you are owning an Amazon Web Services database, then particularly that host name will be present here, and the port which will be allotted to you will be denoted here. Okay, so this is how the connection should be made. And then once we click OK and then click OK, a new connection will be established. Okay, now double click on that connection and then it will open up the editor. Here you see we can see some databases under this schemas table, and then we can see an refresh button, here when we create something, then it might not present there. So at the time we can refresh it and we can check it. Okay, so that's why I'm telling about the refresh button. So here I have already, we have 3 databases created. Here in MySQL, they don't call it as a database. We can call it as a database, and also they will be using some other name that is an synonym to database, that is a schema. Okay, that's why the heading is telling that schemas. Okay, I have 3 databases available here. One is Sakina, one is Sys, and one is World. Okay, these are the system databases which will be installed to your MySQL server when you install it. Okay, so if you want to create a new database, then you have to use the create command. Okay, let me zoom you this so that all people can see it without any hesitation. Okay, so now I'm just using the command that is create. Okay, so to create an object in a to create an object in a database, in a database management system, I have to use create. Okay, so I'm just using create and then database, and then I have to mention the database name. For example, I'm just creating the database name as webinar underscore database. Okay, and then I have to end it using and semicolon, and then I have to hit this thunder sign. Okay, so if I hit it enter, if I click on this thunder sign, here you see I can see an output here. So it is telling me a green tick, and then it is telling create database, and then one row affected. Okay, so if I get a tick like this, then it is telling that the database is created successfully. That query which I have written now is clear. Okay, so now we have the database is not created here. So if I click on the refresh button, here you see that webinar database is created. Okay, so like this. Okay, so this is how we have to create a database. And then now if we click on the database, here you see under this webinar database, we have tables, views, stored procedures, function, and all. But here you see we don't have any tables listed. If I click on world, then here you see we have an tables created under the world database. But this one is just now I created, right? So now how we can create a table. So okay, so that's what I'm going to tell you. So this is how we have to create a database. You have to use this syntax. So here you have to use create database, and inside this bracket you can put it, or you can leave it. Okay, it's not mandatory. So if you use it, if you definitely have to use it, then you can use it, otherwise you can leave it as well. So what you have to do is we have to mention create, and then you are going to create a database. So you have to put database and then the database name which you wanted to create. Okay, and then if you are into, if you are dealing with many different languages, then you have to use the character set according to that location. For example, if I want to create something for a Chinese client, then I have to use their character set. For example, Tamil language characters and Hindi characters or English characters. English characters will present in all the databases, but character sets related to in specific regional language, they won't be present, right? So to make your database understand those characters, then you have to use that particular character set for that. And if you use one character set particular to that, then you have to use an collation like that. That's why the database will understand how to process them and all. Okay, so this is how we have to create a database. And then if you want to know what are the databases available in the system, then we can use this command called show and databases. Okay, and then you have to end every statement using a semicolon. And then if you click on that execute, sorry, now here you see this execute, this thunder symbol will execute all the lines from first line and then third line. So that's why it is telling me an error. It is throwing me an error telling that can't create a database, webinar database. It is already present in that. So what we have to do is, if I want to execute only the third line, I have to use the second one. Okay, so now if I execute it, that particular line will be executed. Okay, here you see I have 7 databases available in my system, but here you see only 4 are there. But where the 3 come from? Here you see we have information schema, we have performance schema, and then we have one more table called MySQL. Okay, so sorry, table, I'm not telling, it is not a table, it is a database. These 3 databases are particular to the workbench. Okay, so they are not, we cannot access them. We can access them, but we cannot do anything because it will alter the database structure itself, the entire database structure itself. They are known as system databases. For the database to know about other databases, so it will be storing some data to particular to that information schema, MySQL and performance schema databases. Okay, that's why we cannot use, we cannot alter the contents present in that system databases. Okay, so the remaining things, this Sakila, Sys, webinar database and World, they are the databases available here. Okay, so this is how we have to know about the databases. And then if you want to use a particular database, then we have to use this use command. So use and then followed by the database name. For example, if I want to use this sys database, then use and then followed by the database name I have to put. And then if I click on that execute symbol, that particular line, then here you see that sys is highlighted, then a webinar database. Now if you create a table, then that table will be created in this database only, not in this webinar database, because we are currently using sys database. So if you want to use it, then we have to put that that database. For example, I'm going to use webinar database now. So I just replace that sys with webinar database, and then if I execute it, now that webinar database is selected. That is it. That's why it is showing it as an like it will be in a bolder manner. And then now we are going to create a table. Okay, so create a table, we have to use this index. We have to put create, and then we have to put, we are going to create a table, so we have to put table and then followed by table name. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So create table and then a table name. Just I'm putting the table name as table underscore name underscore 1. Okay, and then I have to open up a bracket and then I have to end it. So here inside that bracket, what we have to do is we have to put the column names. For example, here you see a register number, name, mobile number, standard, and all. So these are the attributes related to students, right? So these will be the things which are related to that student entity. So those kind of things we have to mention it. Here you see I just put register number, that is the first column, and then comma, and then I have to put the second column name, and then I have to put the third column mobile number, and then I will put standard. Okay, so like that I have to put. Now here you see it is telling me some error is that because we are not telling what the register name is. So register name should have a number, or it should be having some characters, or it should be having some string or whatever, it don't know. So we have to mention it. The register number will be, and now the register number, I'm just mentioning it as register name. So I just replace it with register number. Now here you see we have to mention what kind of data will be present in that column. For example, if it is a mobile number, then it will be completely, it will be of numbers. Am I right? So that kind of thing. So register number will be of number type. So I will be putting integer. So int is itself meant for integer. Okay. And then if we go to name, what it will be of characters. For example, my name is Manimaran, right? So MANI, those are string. So what we have to do is we have to mention it as varchar. Okay, and then we have mobile number. So mobile number, what we have to do, so varchar, if we use varchar, we have to mention how many characters can be present. For example, I'm just mentioning it as 100 characters. 100 characters can be the maximum number of characters should be present in that thing. And then mobile number we have to put, so it will be also an integer, and then standard, it will be also an integer. Okay, so once we create like this, I just replace the table name to students. Okay, so that now here you see we don't have any tables created under webinar database. Now if I execute it, it will be created. Here you see create table is executed successfully, and when I hit refresh, and here you see the students table is created. Okay, so that's how you create a table. Okay, and then if you want to describe about the table, you want to know what are the columns present in the table, then you can use this describe command. So how you can use, so just put describe and then the table name. So the table name here is students. So I just put it and then execute it. Here you see the field we are talking about, right? Here you see we have created register number, name, mobile number, and standard, right? Those are the fields, and then the data type corresponding to that field. For example, register number is of integer, name is of varchar, mobile number is of integer, and standard is of integer. Okay, so other kind of constraints are present there, but we will be discussing more about them later. Okay. Okay, so this is how we will be creating the tables, and based on the tables we will be having constraints for that. So for example, if it we have two kind of constraints. One is a column level constraint and another one is a table level constraint. So first of all, not null, the data should be present in a column level constraint, then it should be the data should be present, then we have to put not null while creating the table and all. Okay, so we have column level constraints, but I cannot explain each and everything now because of the time constraint we have. So I will just go forward. So these are the constraints we can use. So not null is used to mention that the column, that field should not have any null characters. So that's why, that's what that not null is being used. And then the check will be used with this. For example, if you are if you are greater than 25 age, or if you want to check some condition before entering the table, entering the data to a table. So that kind of conditions can be checked using this check constraint. And then default constraint, if a user is not mentioning something, some data, then but definitely we have something, then we can use the default constraint. And then auto increment will be incrementing based on the previous user, and then it will increment based on that. And unique constraint will be like all the all the data present in that field should be unique. For example, two users cannot have a same mobile number, for example, that kind of thing. Okay, and then we have enum. So enumerator type. So enumerator type itself, you can use either from this, for example, we can give them an options. For example, you have three options, and then from those three options you have to choose one. So that those kind of enumeration kind of constraints, then we can use it. Okay, so and we have primary key and foreign key. So primary key is itself and not null constraint combined with an unique constraint. Okay, that's what an primary key. And foreign key, the foreign key is itself and primary key in another table, but it is referred to another table. For example, here you see the register number here is an primary key, and here you see the standard name is itself a primary key, but it is used in the students table. So this standard table, right, the standard field, that is a foreign key to this table. Okay, so this is known as an foreign key. So and then we can go with the table level constraints. So we can also check the constraints for an table, entire table itself. So for that table level constraints, we can use check, unique, and primary key and foreign. Okay, these kind of things we can use. And then if you want to, we have created a table already, but we have to alter the table structure, then we can use this altering commands. So we can use we can add a new column, or we can modify an existing column, or we can modify the name of the column from one name to new name. Okay, like that we can do using these commands and all. So but due to time constraints, I'm not going to execute all the things. I'm just going to explain you more. Okay, so table names, if you want to drop a table, drop a column or a field, then you can use that. If you want to rename it, then you can use it. Okay, so and then if you want to delete a table, then or delete a database, then you can use drop database, and then you can use it. For example, here you see we have webinar database. So first I will type drop database and then followed by the database name. So webinar database, and if I execute it, that will be deleted. Okay, so this is how you have to delete a database. Okay, and then if you want to delete a table, then we have to use drop table, and then the table name we have to put. If you put truncate table, then the data present in the table will be deleted, not the entire table will be deleted. For example, I have some data present in a table. For example, like this. 1 second, I will scroll up and I will show you. So here you see I have four data present in this table. So I want to delete only this data, not the structure. So at the time, what we can use, I can use this truncate command so that entire thing will be deleted. Only this column headings will be present there. Okay. If I put drop table, then entire table will be deleted and the structure of the table will also be deleted. Okay. So that's the difference between drop table and truncate. Okay. So that's all the DDL commands are. So do you guys have any doubts? Okay. So and then we are seeing about DML commands. So DML command is used to insert some data or update a data or delete a data. Okay. You want the delete table instruction? Yeah, just 1 second. I will just create a table now. So I just created a webinar table, webinar database again, and then I will be using it, and then I will create a table. Now here you see the table is created here. So now if I put drop table and then the table name students, now here you see if I execute it, that table will be executed. Okay. You got it right, Shafama? Okay. So the drop table will be deleting all the data. It will be deleting the entire table, including the structure and everything. Data present in the table, it will be deleted. The content present in the table will be deleted, and then the structure of the table will also be deleted. Okay. There will be no there is like no trash can present there, so that you can go and fetch it back. You cannot do that. Okay. So once you delete it, the entire data will be deleted. Okay, that's the thing. And then we have DML commands. So DML commands, we will be inserting data into a table, and then we will be updating the data and then deleting data. For example, I will tell you something to insert a data. I will create it again. So we have the table created, the students table is created, and we have these columns. So to insert data into it, what I have to put is, I just put insert into, and then followed by the table name. For example, I have to put, I'm just going to insert into the table called students. Okay. Insert into students. What are the values I'm going to present? Okay. For register number, I'm mentioning it as 1, and then my name. So I'm just mentioning my name now, and then my mobile number. So my mobile number, let's tell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example. Okay. And then the standard 1. So it means first standard. Okay. Like that. I've just enclose it with the semicolon, and then if I hit enter, it is telling me that one row is affected, and then it executed successfully. Okay. So if I look into the table, for example, I just put select star from students. So I will let you know what is mean by select star from students data. Just I wanted to tell you how the data is inserted. Okay. So if I execute it, here you see in the table, the students table, the data which I have entered, right, that is inserted. For example, if I put some other thing, for example, I'm just put another name, and then some other phone numbers, and then some other standard I will put, and then if I execute it, now if I execute it again, that data is inserted. Okay. This is how the data is inserted to a table. Okay. You got it right. So we can put like this, insert into, and then the table name, and then the column names, and then what the values we can put, or we can simply put insert into and table name, values, and for and the values like this. Okay. I'm just putting insert into, and then the table where I wanted to tell you. So where I wanted to insert the data, that table name, and then followed by values, inside a bracket, the values to be added to the table. Those kind of things I have mentioned it. Okay. So if you want to update the data present in a table, then we have to use this update command. For example, initially I have to put update, and then followed by table name, and then I have to put set, and then which column I want to tell. For example, I wanted to change the value of name like this. I wanted to change the value of Manimaran to some other name. Then what I have to do is I have to put like this. For example, update students, that is the table name, and then set, and then the column name or field name which I wanted to change. For example, name is equal to some other name. For example, I just put Ram. Okay. And then if I execute it, I will get an error now because I'm currently using an safe update mode. So that's why I'm getting that error. So that's why I'm not able to edit it. So I will just change it. So now here you see, if I execute, I'm just turning off the safe updates now. So to 0, if I mention like this, then that SQL safe updates will be turned off. Now if I execute it to this, now if I update it, then it is changing on me. So if I execute it, here you see the names are changed to Ram. Okay, initially we have different data. My Manimaran is there and some other name is there. So now here you see that thing is changed to Ram because we have updated the name to Ram. Okay, so that's how we update the table. We can use we can update particular data based on we can access it using conditions also. For example, I just wanted to change the name, for example, to Lakshman, where register number is equal to 2. Okay, if I mention like this, then for those whose register number is equal to 2, then that name will be changed to Lakshman. For example, if I execute it, I have executed, so it's successful. Now if I execute select star, now here you see based on this condition, only those which is satisfying that condition is changed. Okay, so this is how this Dml commands will work. Okay, so like the same thing will happen for deleting the table and all. Okay, and then Dcl commands. So these commands will be used for giving access or getting back the access given to some users. So we have grant and revoke commands under this. So this will be an bigger one. Okay, what happened when we give update in small letter? SQL is itself an case sensitive language. You can use whatever the language. For example, if I simply put select star from students, then it will be taking the same thing only. So if I execute it, the same thing will happen because it is a case sensitive language. Okay. It's a case sensitive language, so you can use capital letters or small letters as your wish. But in practical thing, we wanted to separate that column names, table names from the keywords. We will be using capital letters to the classes, the commands, and then the table name and database name in small letters, entire small letters. But it is we can use any kind of combinations. We can use a capital letter for a table name, or we can use an underscore, or we can use camel case, or whatever case we can use. But in practical world or in coding, it's a good practice to use capital letters for the commands and small letters for the table names and column names and database names. Okay. So Dcl commands, this will be used to grant privileges, that means access to some users, or revoke, will withdraw the privileges given to users. For example, I'm creating a new user called Manimaran. Okay, so that user will have only the access to select the data. He cannot insert data or he cannot delete a data. So like that, I'm giving an access. Okay, so like that, the Dcl commands will work. Okay, and then Dql commands. So these will be the entire one. For example, this will be used to retrieve the data or filter the data or perform some mathematical operations or some string operations, and those kind of things we can use. We can do, as well as ordering the data and grouping the data. Okay, so in module 7 we will be looking into them. So only one statement is there, that is select statement. So this select statement, based on our voice usage, we can perform all these kind of things. Okay, so we have to put select and then followed by the column names. Okay, so first, if you want to select all the columns from a table, then what we can put is, we can put select and then we can put star. So here star means all. Okay, so what it will do is, it will select all the it will get the data from all the columns and then it will present it. If I simply put, if I mention standard, select standard from students, and then if I execute it, only that column will be only that column is fetched. Okay, so if I put standard command name like this, and if I mention it like this, then the standard and the name will be get. Okay, so this is how this Dql commands will work like. Okay, this is how the select statement is working. So filtering the data means if I wanted to mention like I want some data that should be only those data which are satisfying that condition, it will be known as filtering the data. For example, I will add one more user. Okay, I will add one more user. So the 3, and then it belongs to the class 2. Okay, if I execute it, now here you see we have 3 students. We have 3 students. Two of them are from standard 2. Okay, so I wanted to filter the data, that is the retrieved data based on the standard. So at the time, what I can put is I can simply put var, and then the standard is equal to 2. Okay, so here if I mention like this, then what it means is, so I want the data for users whose standard the students whose standard is equal to 2. Okay, like that. If I mention and if I execute it, only those who are satisfying that condition I will be getting. So this is known as filtering the data. Okay, you got it. So and then we can go to operators. We have arithmetic operators, comparison operators, and logical operators. So based on that, we can perform mathematical operations as well as string operations. For example, we can add 2 columns. For example, if it is a number column, then we can add them, and then we can subtract them or perform any multiple mathematical operations, as well as we have comparison operators. So here in standard, here we have put something like equal to 2, like that. So if I mention not equal to 2, okay, so like this, this means this this exclamatory symbol and then followed by an equal means it means not equal to 2. Okay, if I execute it, here you see I am getting the students who are not from this standard. Okay, so this is how this logical operators will be used. Okay, so and then we will be having ordering the data. So ordering the data is itself means based on sorting. Okay, sorting the data based on the numbers or based on the alphabetical order, those kind of things we will be using this ordering the data commands. Okay, simply we have to put a select star and then order by which column we are going to sort it. Okay, for example, now I am going to sort it based on the name. Okay, so for that what I have to do is select standard command name. So I will just simply select all. Okay, so to show entire data, so I have to put order by, I'm going to order it based on name. Okay, so name, and then if I execute it, here you see based on the name column I have the data altered. Okay, so K comes first in the alphabets, so K is coming in the first line, and then L comes second, so this one is coming, and then we have these. Okay, so like this we can use any kind of thing. For example, if I wanted to order it based on register number, then I can use like this. Okay, so this is how we have to use order, and then we can group the data based on, here you see we have uh, mm, 2 students who are from the same class, so we can group them together and then we can perform operations based on that also. Okay, so and then finally the last module, that is joins. So if you want to join 2 tables at a time, we want to fetch data from 2 tables, then we can use this join conditions. Okay, so the thing will be like this. So if we are using an inner join, then the result will be like this. Okay, so here you see the one is present in both the tables, so at the time the output will be like this. Okay, and then the condition for this is like this. So we have to put select star and then the table name 1, and then we are to join the table name 2. So we have to put join or inner join, and then based on, we have to mention the join condition. Here you see this first column and this first column, based on the 2 columns I wanted to join, so like that we have to mention. Okay, so we have left join. So here you see this is how the output will be. So just look into the Venn diagrams. So here you see the data which is satisfying in both the tables will be fetched only if you use inner join. And then here you see in left join, the data from the left table and then from the inner table, that is intersection, they will be given in the output. And the same thing for a right join. So the intersection and the content from the right table will be present. And then we have outer join, only all the data will be present. Okay, like this. And then we have a cross join. So this will be like one column will be connected with all the columns from the table 2. For example, we have 1 here. So 1 will be connected to 1, 3, and 4. And then 2 will be connected to 1, 3, and 4, and so on. So, okay, that is known as an cross join. And then that's the thing. Okay, so I know have gone so fast. Do you guys have any doubts? Do you guys have any doubts from these things? Okay. So I hope this session is pretty useful to you to understand what is SQL and what are the kind of things the SQL can be used for. Okay. So thank you guys for attending the class. Ayapan will be giving you some instructions to you now. Ayapan, could you please take over?
Yes, Maran. Thank you very much for the wonderful session. Guys, if you have any questions related to SQL needs, you can ask in the chat box or you can raise your hand. We can unmute you and you can ask to the trainer directly. If you have any queries, you can raise your hand or you can ask in the chat box. So many people have thanked Manivaran for the wonderful session. So I hope everyone are clear with all their queries. So once again, thank you very much. One question coming: SQL is case sensitive or not?
No, so SQL is case insensitive. You can use a small case, or you can use uppercase, or you can use camel case. Whatever the case you can use, SQL is a case insensitive language.
So SQL is not a case sensitive. So any other questions? Okay, fine. So thank you very much, Manivaran. Wonderful session. So guys, now we can move to the next thing. So we are sharing one of our students' feedback. So this student have placed in one of the MNC. Actually, she's having a very large break. So, but after that, she learned one of the RPA course from us, and she got placed, and she is going to join the company in the coming month. So, this is the feedback.
Hi all. I'm Sivagami from US. I'm a student. I have learned Blue Prism course from AP trainings to restart my career. They trained us very well and the trainer is excellent. After the course completion, I felt like 100% worth for that money I paid. I recommend you to choose AP trainings for your better future. Thank you very much. Bye.
Yeah, this is one of the students' feedback. So same like many people are gave their feedback. So now if people can see few more students' feedback in the PPT. Okay. So due to time constraint, we are showing some of the students' feedback. So this is one of the students from USA party. So she also worked like 100% work for the money she paid. So Surya, so this is a person from Chennai. So after the course condition, he immediately got the job. So this is a non-IT experienced student, Annie. She also from US, and she after the course condition immediately she cleared the examination by herself. So this is another student. So after the course condition, he learned the SAP after the course completion. He is working in a very good company now. So another student, Soundarya, she after the course completion in Java, she immediately placed in Deloitte University. Same like many students facing various companies all over the world. Okay, so you people can see all our feedback from the Google business. So we are sharing all our links in the WhatsApp. If you can go and see all the reviews in the Google business. Okay, so we are sharing all our feedback link and all our social media links in the WhatsApp now, so you people can see. Okay. So then we are going to see about APT Students Guide. I'm going to share my screen. People who are not able to hear properly, you can either disconnect and connect again, or you can watch from YouTube. Okay, so now I am sharing the APT Students Guide. So this is APT Students Guide. So I hope you people are able to see. So like we already told, so we are following different techniques to make our students to understand all the subjects in a clear manner. So here we are following APT 5 courses. The first one is simple learning methodology. Second one is students recall. Then creative explanation, fingertip materials, additional information. So for example, if you join the class, every day the classes will be like in an average timing of about 75 minutes. So we have divided this 75 minutes into 6 sessions. The session one will be 10 minutes. Here you people can ask the previous day class if you are having any queries. If you have any questions, you can note down and you can ask the trainer. So the trainer will clear all your queries. Then session 2, 20 minutes. The trainer will take today's set of topics. Then session 3, it will be 15 minutes. Here you can practice in front of the trainer whatever he took in the session 2. Then session 4, here again 15 minutes. Here the trainer will take the next set of topics. So then again you can practice for 10 minutes. Finally, it will be 5 minutes. You can recall whatever you have learned in that first 5 sessions. Okay. So this is the ideology of us. So it is successfully executed and many students are benefited. Okay, slowly you people will learn everything in a practical manner. But what happening in nowadays classroom sessions are like trainer will come and they will take the class and they will left the class. Some students will practice, other people will can't practice. But here it is not like that. Everyone should do the things. Okay. So what are the how we are designed our structure is like with the help of this learning pyramid. So as much as you are practicing, you will learn more. So I'm saying like when you are helping your friends, for example, if you are learning in a batch of 3 to 4 students, by connecting with yourself, you people can teach yourself. Okay, so by doing that, we are able to see many people are easily getting jobs and they are easily remembering the topics, whatever they are learning. So while you are teaching others, you will understand many things in an easy manner. Then creative explanation. Here, all the documents, whatever the trainer is going to give in a structured way. So that is a very, very important thing. If everything in a structured manner, our human brain will easily understand. For example, people are telling the questions answer is in this notebook. How you will come, you will find out. If you are going to each and every page, it is very hard to find. But suppose it is like this answer is in 45th page, 6th line, second para, 6th line. Yes, you can easily understand. That is the main thing. What people are currently doing. For example, if you are going to Google, if you are searching for one answer, for each question, 100 types of answer will come. So how do you know what is the correct answer? What we need to answer for this interview? So that is the main thing here. The trainer is going to give to you people. Okay. So e-coaching. So it is like if you're going to YouTube, you can't ask your queries to that person who is teaching in the YouTube. But here it is not like that. You can start the trainer and you can ask the queries. Okay. So it is like a collaborative learning. You can learn like how you are learning from your friends. Okay. So then virtual classroom. So this is called as a virtual classroom. The combination of all these three things. Okay. So daily class notes we will provide. So mind map methodology also we are following to teach. Then all the class nodes, all the classes will be conducted in a pictorial manner. Okay, so all the classes will be live classes only, and the classes will be recorded. Okay, what is the advantage? If you are going to one-to-one class or any classroom trainings, the people will come, they will take the class. After 1 or 2 months, you will totally forget that class. But here it is not like that. Here everything will be recorded. You can hear the recordings will be given to you people. You can revise the class after 10 years also. Okay, that is the main advantage. Okay, I saw many people who are coming to classroom trainings. Me also took many classroom trainings. They will learn the course for 2 to 3 times. If they are asking, they will tell, I forgot the first class, so I'm again taking it. Here you can avoid that. You can save your money. You can revise the class by again seeing the videos. Okay. And fingertip materials. Everything will be provided to you people via Google Drive. So additional bonuses, pre-interview session, resume professional, lifelong community support, professional site certification guidance, job links, LinkedIn recommendation, everything we people are providing. Okay. So these are all about AP training students guide. So if you have any question, you can ask. I hope you are not having any query. So just I am going to present the next slide. So actually, this is one of the video from the another student who is placed after learning one of the cloud course Microsoft Azure from us. Let's watch that.
Hi, my name is Muthu. Actually, I have done my Azure cloud training, Azure 104 training in AP trainings. Past 3 months, I have done my training. The sessions was weekend training. Actually, the trainer was Ramesh. Actually, his training was very good. Every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, he used to take a training, and every sessions it was very nice. Actually, he used to take a interview questions, which is very helpful in the interview, and the trainings was very good. So actually I cracked the interview in as a senior system engineer, as a cloud engineer. The trainings was very good because he motivated and what are the questions, what are the tips, which is very useful for my interview.
Okay. So you people can believe us, and you can go and see all our social media like that. So now we are came to the final session, that is the APT offer. So now I'm sharing the screen. So can we go to the offer session? Can you please reply yes in the chat box, guys? Can you please reply yes in the chat box? Finally, we will send the feedback link. Okay. So kindly reply yes in the chat box. Yeah, so I am getting reply. So I want reply from all of you people. So kindly reply. Yeah, Karthik. Everyone is Tarun. Deep. How about others? So this is the final session, and it is the offer session. If people can't believe this offer, so we are going to present you that offer. So kindly reply. I want this session to be a more interactive thing. So AP trainings offer. So what will be the market price? Or in fact, of going to that, so what are the types of training we people are providing to you? Okay. So the first one is a full course, and the another one is the flash course or workshop. So the full course will be in an average manner, it will be like 35 to 40 hours. For SQL, it will come around 15 to 20 hours. Okay. So, and another one is a flash course, otherwise called as a workshop. It will either come 5 to 6 hours or 10 hours, depends upon the course, it will vary. Okay. These are the two types of training we people are providing. Okay. So let's see what is the market price of this SQL. So if you go to any training center all over the world, the market price to learn this SQL course is 15,000 to 17,000. And the market price to learn the flash course is 6,000 to 8,000. Guys, do you like this offer? Can you please reply yes in the chat? Do you like this market price to learn this SQL course? Many people are replying yes, some are replying no. Yeah, so many people are now replying no only. Okay, good to see. I just tell your opinion, then only we will come to know whether you people like this offer or you want some other offer. That's our main point. So kindly be interactive. I want this session to be more interactive. Please make your comment. So that is what we are want from you people. Okay. So yeah, so this is a little bit higher. So we people also feel the same thing. So what we decided for you people to spend your more than 1.5 hours to this master class, we are not going to give this two course for 15 to 17,000 and a flash course for 6 to 8,000. In our AP trainings, our usual price to learn this SQL is just 10,000 rupees. 10,000 rupees, and the workshop, the flash course is just 4,000 rupees. Guys, do you like this offer? I mean, the better offer. Can you please reply yes in the chat box? Can you please reply yes? Why yes? Kindly reply yes in the chat box. Thank you, Namaste. How about others? Kindly reply guys. I want. Yeah, it's better. Tarun is replying. It's better. Yeah, welcome. So how about others? Kindly reply. The session will surely be ending 5 minutes. Kindly reply. Yeah, see, I'm getting reply from Deep. How about others? Kindly reply in the chat box. Right? So just the full course will be in 10,000 and the flash course will be in just 4,000. Yeah, it's better for marketplace. Karthik replied. Thank you. Wow, fantastic. Many people are replying now. It's good to see. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Yes, I want reply from all the guys. So today we are going to give a fantastic offer. Not apart from this AP training price, we are giving another offer. That will be a mind-blowing offer. So you people can see now the full course will not be in 10,000 rupees and the flash course will not be in 4,000 rupees. And we are going to reveal the final offer. So that is called as your 15-minute discount price. So your 15-minute discount price to learn this SQL is just like 7,000 rupees, and a flash course workshop is a 90% offer, just 1,000 rupees. Okay, so the full course will come about 15 to 20 hours, and the flash course will come about 4 hours for the SQL. Flash course will come about 4 hours for the SQL. The full course will come about 15 to 20 hours. Okay, the flash course will come about 4 hours and it will be 1,000 rupees for you people to learn. So kindly make use of this offer. People who like this offer, can you please reply like BUY buy in the chat box? Kindly reply BUY buy in the chat box if you like this offer. Yeah, I'm getting replies. How about others? So there are 40 plus people are available in this masterclass. Kindly reply BUY buy in the chat box if you like this offer. Buy, or else you can like this offer, you can reply like yes, anything is fine, buy or yes. So Mahadeva replied buy. How about others? Karthik replied yes. How about others? How to make the payment? Yeah, we will share the payment link. So kindly wait. How about others? I want reply from each and everyone. So whoever wants to join this, it's a fantastic course, and you know about the trainer. He's mind-blowingly, he's explaining each and everything in a perfect manner. The full course is just 7,000 rupees. The flash course is just 1,000 rupees. We are getting many replies. Fantastic. If you join the full course, and this offer is only 15 minutes now, the time is around 7:35. It will end by 7:55, 7:37. So 7:55 it will end. If you join this special full course, you will get free interview session, resume preparation help, professional certification guidance, lifelong community support, LinkedIn recommendation, and job guidance. And apart from that, the courses clear queries at any time, training at your preferred timing, recorded videos, daily class notes and documents. So all these things you people will get. Okay. So then salary. So if you take the salary, you people will. If you are a fresher, if you don't know any technology, you will get a salary of 3.5 lakhs. But when you know a technology like SQL, which is based for each and every programming languages and technology, you will minimum get a salary of 5 lakhs. So investment in just 1,000 rupees, very a few hundred rupees, and 999 only, you are going to get in lakhs. People who are taking a good decision will earn in lakhs. I will tell like one of my friend who not get a new job. He just invested in 10,000 rupees to learn one course, and he is going to jump now with more than 10 plus lakhs of package. From 5 to 6 lakh of package, he is going to get more than 10 to 10 lakhs of package. So your small decision will totally change your life. Like I told, you are having a 5 years of experience, and if you are earning around 6 lakhs now, if you are not, it is very hard nowadays to get a job, to get a very good package in jump. People are only giving 30%. But when if you know on course like SQL, which is source for each and everything, you will surely get 8.5 lakhs, which is 70% high. Okay. Next you can go. Your one small step can change your life. Your payment link is this one. So this is your payment link 9488775698. UPI also 9488775698 at Paytm. You people can make the payment and you can send the screenshot to our WhatsApp number. So we will add it to the paid group. So there you will get all the details. Okay. So your timing starts now. So your offer will end at 7:55 p.m. So kindly make use of this offer. So kindly make the payment and you can send a screenshot to our WhatsApp number. We are also sharing the payment link in the chat box. In front of that, we are also sharing the feedback link. So that is people should fill your details, then only we get the certificate. Only one time we will share the feedback link in the Zoom. So you can click and make use of it. So now we are sharing the payment link. We already shared. One more time we are sharing. So we have shared our payment link here as well as in WhatsApp also we are sharing. But kindly make the payment and you can join the course. So that can change your life. Okay, so you know how Manimaran have took this class. He is a fantastic trainer. Kindly make use of this opportunity. People who wants to join the course